Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Let's go ahead and get started with today's lesson. So let's go over our lesson objective. So our lesson objective for today is today we will subtract numbers with decimals. And let's go ahead and go over our vocabulary. So our first vocabulary word is subtraction. So what is subtraction? Subtraction is a process or skill of taking one number or amount away from another. So we have 16 candies. We're going to take away 7. We're going to take away 7 candies. And what we have left is 9 candies. All right, fantastic. Let's go over what is difference. So difference is the distance between two numbers and is a result of subtracting one number from another. So difference is our answer in a subtraction problem. So our difference from 16 take away 7 is 9. That is difference. All right, place value. So place value is the value of each digit based on its location in a number. So depending on where our digit is located will tell us how much a digit is worth. All right. Last but not least, decimal. So decimal is a number that represents an equal part of a whole in units of 10. So over here we have a decimal. We have this green square represents our whole, and we're going to cut it into different pieces. So this strip right here represents 10. So we've cut it into 10 equal pieces. So a decimal is a part of a whole in units of 10. All right, let's go ahead and do our first problem. So we need to find the difference of 144 and 59 hundredths minus or take away 12 and 16 hundredths. So what we are going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and draw a place value chart or a decimal chart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and draw a rectangle right here. Okay, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm actually gonna go ahead and put down 6 squares right there. So, and it doesn't need to be perfect. And so what I'm going to go ahead and do is split this in half. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put this into our chart, right? Each of our digits. So we're going to start with our larger number. We're going to start with the number we're going to take away from, which is 144 and 59 hundredths. So I'm going to go ahead and put down 144, and actually let me do this. Let me do this in a different color. Do it in blue. So we have 144, and then I'm going to put my decimal right here, 54. Okay, now when we are adding and subtracting, it is really important that we line up our place values. And so what I like to do is I like to line up my ones. So in 144 and 54 hundredths, our 1 is this 4 right here, right? We have this 4 in our ones place. So now I'm going to go ahead and find where my ones is in 12 and 16 hundredths. So my ones place, the digit in my ones is this 2. So I'm going to put down 2 here. And then I'm going to go ahead and put 1 in the tens place. I'm going to line up my decimal. And then I'm going to do 16. And I am subtracting, so I'm going to put a minus sign right here. All right, now that we went ahead and lined all this up, we have to go ahead and subtract. So, and I'm going to use a standard algorithm method to subtract. So when we're using standard algorithm, we are starting with our smallest place value. And in this case, our smallest place value is this right here in the hundredths. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take away, let me erase this for us. I'm going to go ahead and take away 6 from 4. But I can't do that because I would be taking away more than I have. I only have 4, but I need to take away 6. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is look at my next highest place value, which is going to be my tenths place. So I have 5 tenths, so I can borrow or I can exchange 1/10 for 10 hundredths. So I'm going to go ahead and cross out my 5 tenths, and I'm going to change that to a 4 because I'm going to take 10 tenths, and I'm going to go ahead and exchange them for 10 hundredths. I'm going to take 1/10 and exchange them for 10 hundredths, right? So now I have 14 hundredths, and I need to take away 6 from 14, and that is going to equal 8. I want to make sure we line everything up. I'm actually going to go ahead and extend these out. Okay, now let's go to our tenths place. So I want to take a 1 from 4. That is going to be 3. I have to bring my decimal down. Now I have to take away 2 from 4, which leaves me with 2. Now I'm going to go to my tens, and I'm going to take away 1/10 from 4 tens. So that is going to leave me with 3. And then I don't have anything to take away from my hundred, so I have 1. So my difference between 144 and 54 hundredths and 12 and 16 hundredths is 132 and 38 hundredths. All right, let's keep going. So our next example is going to be 347 and 94 hundredths minus 22. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm not going to do my place value chart for this. I'm going to go ahead and just write it as is. So I'm going to go ahead and first write my number that I'm taking away from. So I'm taking away from 347 and 94 hundredths, and I'm taking 22 away from there. Okay, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is I am going to make sure I line up my place values, and I'm going to look at the ones place. So I have 7 in my ones place for 347 and 94 hundredths. So I have to find out where my ones is in 22. And this 2 is in my ones place. So I'm going to take that 1 and line it up underneath my other 1, right? Now, I have 22. So this 2 is in my tens place, making that 20. So I'm going to go ahead and line that up there. And I know that I'm going to go ahead and subtract. Now, I see all of these empty place values, right? When I have this 22 over here, what that's telling me, if I don't have any decimal, is I actually have a decimal behind it, right? So anytime I see a number without a decimal point, I know that I can put a decimal behind it. And what it's telling me is I have a whole number, so I don't have any tenths and I don't have any hundredths, right? So I can just replace those with 0. These zeros don't change the value of 22. It's still 22. So 22 is equal to 22.00, right? So I'm going to fill that in with zeros. Now I can go ahead and subtract. So I'm going to use standard algorithm again. So I'm going to start with my lowest place value, which in this case is hundredths. So I'm going to take away 0 from 4. That is 4. I'm going on to my tenths. 0 from 9 is 9 hundredths. I'm going to bring down my decimal point. Now let's go to our ones. 7 take away 2 is 5. I'm sorry, 2. If we take 2 away from 7, there we go. If we take 2 away from 4, that is going to leave us with 2. And then I don't have a 0. I don't have any number here. So that's the same as me adding a 0, right? That doesn't change the value. So 0 take away 3 is 3. So our difference is 325 and 94 hundredths. All right, let's go ahead and review our lesson objective. So our lesson objective for today was we subtracted numbers with decimals. All right, y'all, you did so great today. I hope this was helpful. I hope you learned a lot, and I look forward to seeing you on the rest of your learning map. See you later. Have a good day.